Ethiopia is not only the origin of only the black race, but it is the cradle of human civilization and the beginning of humankind. And we are lucky, we are very fortunate to be in Ethiopia. Ethiopia is a symbol of freedom because Ethiopians have never symbolically been colonized. And that is very, very important for Africa, especially like Ghana, where Ghana was one of the first countries that obtained independence as a shining black star. And the colors of Ethiopia was adopted somehow to show that identity. So Ethiopia is a very significant country when it comes to Pan-Africanism. Sometimes, unfortunately, Ethiopians do not take advantage of that Pan-African spirit to build a country that welcomes all Africans. And I hope that the young Ethiopians will know that their country is very significant. And you mentioned Du Bois, you mentioned Marcus Garvey. These were people who fought against colonialism and they looked for the emancipation of the black people from colonialism. And this century, we are fighting for reparations of all the injustices that have been done to black people who were shipped as human cargo to build the Western world and to keep us in poverty. Ghana and Ethiopia have been very close since Nkrumah and Haile Selassie. We have a history. I always tell people Ethiopia is like Ghana, or Ghanaians are like Ethiopians. They are very, very warm, welcoming people. But it must go deeper. We have to take advantage of the ACFTA. We have to increase the mobility of young people. Ethiopians must be able to go to Ghana to study, to work. Ghanaians must be able to come to Ethiopia to work. And Ethiopia has become so central now because Ethiopian Airlines is the link of all of Africa. When you live in Addis, you are living in Africa. The millions of Africans who transit through Ethiopia to Africa is very significant. So therefore, I would want to call for not just a deepening of political ties, but also of economic integration at that level. Pan-Africanism is an aspiration, is both an aspiration which is yet to be realized by the younger generation. Our forefathers like Nkrumah and the rest believed in a one Africa, that we were one people, that Africans all belong to Africa. And Kwame Nkrumah was famous of saying that Africa was born in me. I was not born into Africa, but it was born into me, just to paraphrase. Our younger generations have lost that. We have tended to keep the colonial mindset where we think that we are separate, that we have emphasized on our national sovereignty over our integration as a continent. And I think that after 60 years, it is left with us, the younger generation, to be able to revive the concept of Pan-Africanism, because that concept is looking at not only individual countries becoming sovereign, but also Africa integrating into a peaceful and prosperous continent for its people. We have to go back to our roots of Pan-Africanism, where we talk about not only liberation, the liberation of the African continent from slavery and colonization, but to teach our history. Many African young people in schools, they read European textbooks, but we don't write our own culture. And I think that this year is an opportunity for the African Union to reinvent itself and to propagate African culture and African way of doing things. As we say, we have African solutions for African problems. You have Nkrumah who was saying Africa must integrate now. And you have Nyerere who was saying Africa must not leave anyone behind. There must be a progressive integration. And today we see these three leaders, Nkrumah on the one side, Haile Selassie who gave this beautiful city to build the headquarters of the African Union, and Julius Nyerere, who continues to be the dream behind the progressive integration of the African continent. So it is very significant. As one of the schools of thought of Pan-Africanism, is very, very significant. At least African young people can know that our leaders in the past fought for a united Africa.